This podcast is brought to you by the new Nikon Coolpix P1 and P2 digital cameras, the world's first compact cameras with built-in Wi-Fi. Now you can take great pictures and easily transfer them directly to your computer or printer wirelessly. Learn more at nikondigital.com.
On today's edition of the Gear Life's Bleeding Edge, we talk about a leather PSP case,
some very cool homebrew wireless music players,
and these ultra cool Wicked lasers. All that and more on today's edition of Gear Life's Bleeding Edge. I'm Andrew Edwards.
and I'm Sparky.
We're here to bring you another look at tech news through the eyes of GearLive.com. And what you just saw us playing with actually were these Wicked lasers. And I have the green, Sparky has the red. And we're going to have more on these Wicked lasers a little later on in the show. These are really awesome though.
Yeah, these are really kick-ass.
These are not your dad's corporate laser pointers. Okay, Sparky.
I've got to stop doing that.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so AOL is raising the price of their dial-up service to $25.90.
What?
Which is the exact same price as their broadband service, $25.90.
That's
And
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but here's the logic behind this. They're losing so many dial-up customers that they want the rest of them that are remaining to move to broadband, and they figure if we set it at the same price, people will obviously choose broadband, and then they'll feel AOL's giving them this higher speed, so they'll switch over and we'll retain them as a customer.
All right, I can see that. That's valid. Getting people away from dial-up, worthy cause.
Very true.
But still, charging that much for dial-up?
Why have a dial-up option? You know what I mean?
That would make more sense. Just remove the dial-up completely, migrate all of your users over, say, hey, if you're on dial-up, we're just going to give you a free upgrade, move you over to DSL, and everybody's happy.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of understand why you would have dial-up, but like make it all-inclusive. Like you have broadband at home. If you're traveling, if you're at a hotel and you need to get on the internet, you have your dial-up service included because you don't have
most
broadband.
ISPs have 10, 20 hours a month of dial-up included with your DSL or cable or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. AOL, they're doing some interesting things like outside of their AOL internet service. Like they bought Weblogs Inc. and a ton of other things that they're doing, but
they're finally getting
$25.90 for dial-up.
Yeah,
no way.
At least they're getting away from their own little private walled garden and starting to open up and put things on the outside. So,
what do you have?
I have an interesting story. In Japan, they're introducing legislation, or they have introduced legislation, which goes into effect on April 30th. Basically banning the sale of old consumer electronics. You can't sell anything used.
Wait, hold on. So I have this PowerBook G4 12-inch that if I was in Japan, I might want to get rid of because the new MacBook Pro is coming out. I don't need this anymore. I don't need two laptops. So if I were in Japan, I could not sell this to you.
That is what I understand from this.
Okay. Tell me more.
We could sell it to you. We are always allowed to sell things to our illustrious camera people.
Yes, Jesse. Thank you.
Well, they're saying for a couple of reasons. One, it's called the Electrical Appliance and Material Safety Law. So they're trying to say, hey, older equipment can be dangerous, which kind of makes sense. But I think the real motivator here is right now we've got a lot of great technology out there, and it's not necessarily getting rolled out to the public because people don't adopt. They already have something that meets their needs. Why buy another MP3 player, another laptop? Right. So they're trying to, it seems like this will help kind of curb that, the resale, and make people more buy new things, more aggressive buy-in cycles, and so hopefully technology will benefit from it.
I don't know. I always buy the new iPod. Whenever an iPod comes out, I buy it. The reason I buy it...
You're an early adopter, though.
But not only that, the reason I buy it is because I sell my old one for about $100 less than the new one costs. So the upgrade only cost me $100.
True.
If I were in Japan, the upgrade would cost me $4.99. Not cool.
True. But in Japan, well, it's a sticky situation. I can see the pluses and the minuses. We'll see where it goes.
I'm not seeing the pluses. Finally, MacBook Pros are starting to arrive.
Yes.
We received reports earlier in the week from some of our readers who sent us screenshots of their shipping confirmations from China. I just called the Apple Store a few minutes ago. Here in Seattle, they got them in today. They sold out immediately.
They've got display models in too,
Yeah,
so go to your local Apple Store and check them out. They're fast. I played with one the other day.
I still haven't gotten my hands on one, so what'd you think of it?
I mean, form factor, same as existing G4 PowerBooks.
But you have the nice little...
so much
eyesight
faster.
there.
I didn't really play with the eyesight very much. Just, opening applications and multitasking so much faster.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the BSD subsystem of OS X is really written to be a multi-proc-aware operating system and a low-level operating system. And it works so much better with multiple cores.
Okay. My thing is, you mentioned similar form factor. The two main differences are it has the eyesight built in, but also has Express Card instead of PMCIA.
True.
And I really want a MacBook, but I want to make sure that there's an EVDO solution for it before I get one.
True. Well, Apple is well known for their history of seeing a good technology and jumping on it maybe a little bit too early, or maybe they're helping spur its adoption.
Yeah.
Depends on how you look at it. I hope that they're going to spur the adoption. Right now, there aren't a lot of Express Card 34mm options out there,
Devices,
but down the road, it's faster, smaller, lower power consumption than PCMCIA. It should replace it. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, and hopefully soon. I'd really like to pick one up before things like E3 and GNOME Deck start happening, so that I can actually have access wherever I am versus having to run to the press room and grab a seat and all that. It's horrible.
True. Built-in broadband would be a great feature. If you're listening, Apple, build in HSDPA, build in EVDO, do something.
Yeah, build it right into the chipset. Then we don't need to buy an add-on. That'd be nice. Anyway, what do you think of my my shave here that I have going on?
It's a little lopsided. That side looks a little smoother.
Oh, really? Interesting that you say that. We did not talk about which side of my face was smoother before you just mentioned that, but the reason I asked is because we taped a segment a little earlier before we started doing the show, before you got here. Basically putting the new Gillette Fusion that's been all over the Super Bowl commercials and all over TV versus a traditional standard razor.
Okay.
And I did half my face with the traditional razor with like soap lather, and the other side using Gillette's hydrogel and their Fusion razor, and put them both side by side to the test, see which one worked better.
So is your left side the Fusion side?
I'll tell you after the video. Here we go. Recently, if you watched the Super Bowl, you would have seen the Gillette Fusion commercials. They were one of the few that did high definition commercials during the Super Bowl. And this is the new razor from Gillette that has 5 blades plus a strip of aloe, and on the back has another single blade for those hard to reach areas. So we figured we'd take the Gillette Fusion Power, this one is the one that takes a battery and also vibrates, and compare that, the brand new experience, to the older experience of taking a regular old razor with a razor blade that we're going to fix into there, and with the Fusion, we're going to use their Fusion Hydrogel Ultra Sensitive Shaving Cream. And for our old school approach, we're going to go with the soap and brush approach. So on one half of my face, I'm going to lather up with the soap and shave it with the old school razor. And on the other half, put on the old hydrogel, and shave that with the 5-bladed Gillette Fusion Power. Okay. So we're going to start out with, now that we're ready to shave, the old school razor, which I've actually never used before. So hopefully I don't destroy myself in the process. So these take the standard razor blade. the dangerous ones. So we'll just slip this to here somehow. I don't even know how to do this. Okay, I guess it goes on here. There, so we have that. Close it up like that, I'm assuming. Actually, I'm guessing it goes like this. And then screw on the bottom. Ouch, that hurt. Okay, awesome. Very easily drag that down. It actually feels nice. I'm surprised. You just kind of glide across your skin and it pulls off the hair. That's nice. That was actually fairly easy. Shave upwards, which actually you're not supposed to do. Okay, so this is the standard one. There's also, you have ones that you can actually adjust at the bottom that will actually curve the razor blade to give you a closer shave or a less than close shave if you prefer that on different parts of your face. So I liked it. I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I would. It wasn't as dangerous as I thought it might be. I still have this side to go. We're going to use the Gillette Fusion. Brand new blade. Again, this one has 5 blades here, 1 blade on the back for the hard to reach areas, as they call it. So let's give this one a shot. This one has, just from the first stroke, a lot more resistance, I guess, to gliding down your face. You kind of have to push down a little harder to get through the hair, and you can kind of hear it shaving off, cutting the hairs. I don't know if it's the hairs or if I'm hearing it like slicing off layers of my skin, since there's 5. I'm gonna switch it over to power mode because it does have a AAA battery that makes it move and vibrate. Don't really know how that helps you in shaving. Do either of you guys have any idea?
Maybe it just feels cool.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel cool, but and this actually, believe it or not, is nowhere near as satisfying as the other razor was. With just a couple of strokes using the other one, you had pretty much a smooth face without much resistance. And with the Fusion, I mean, I can definitely feel I have to push down on my face to kind of get it to cut the way I want it to. There's still, you know, even with the 5 blades, I kind of have to go over and do multiple strokes, and even then it's not really getting everything I want it to. I wonder if it's because of the power that's supposed to be helping out. I'll turn that off. One thing that it does is it numbs your face when that thing is on. It kind of makes you not really feel what's going on. Okay, so I just shaved both sides of my face. I'm going to get cleaned up and give you a final analysis. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's weird though, because you can't actually tell.
That's very interesting. Okay, we're back. Now we're back. So that was my comparison, and
looks like it works.
Here's the result. The side of my face that is smoother is the old school razor, the razor that like your dad and grandfather used when they were shaving, when they were our age.
Wow.
The Gillette Fusion with 5 razors on the front and 1 razor on the back wasn't as smooth, wasn't as close to shave, even with
Really?
multiple strokes. the hydrogel, like, I don't know if it was the gel or the soap that I was using, but the single blade razor with the soap was so much better, faster shave, more comfortable shave than the Gillette Fusion.
So here's the question: how much does the Gillette Fusion cost?
The Gillette Fusion, I use the Gillette Fusion Power, which you can put in a AAA battery and it'll vibrate. Yeah, and that was $13 with, I believe it came with one razor.
And how much are the razors?
The razors, a pack of 6 is like $13.
Wow, so that's a racket.
Now, the traditional razor, I just bought it today for the test. The traditional razor with one blade cost me $30, but the one blade lasts way more than 7 or 8 shaves. And a pack of 10 new razors is $6 versus 6 razors for $13 with the Fusion. So very disappointed, Gillette. I really liked your high definition commercials during the Super Bowl. You know, I always stop when I see an HD commercial, but back to the drawing board, I guess. And this actually goes for all of them. It's not just Gillette. I'm really impressed with the quality of the old school method of shaving. It was a great experience. It was cool.
Sharp blade, little lather, gets the job done.
Yes, it does.
How long does it take to set up, though?
To set up the blade, Jesse just asked how long it takes to set up the blade. From start to finish, I unboxed it. You have to be careful with the razor blade. I almost cut my finger because it's really sharp. But you just take it apart, you slip in the blade, put it back together. Less than a minute, really, to get up and running. So, I definitely recommend it. Now we actually have in this edition of Your Lives Bleeding Edge, both Jesse and Nate are behind the camera crew, are going to be part of the on-camera. Oh, there's Jesse right now. Get a shot of Nate right there. Yes. They both have segments in today's show. So our next segment is going to be our Hack Attack, where you're going to talk with Nate about his wireless music player.
Let's take a look at that, Nate. So I've got Nate here with me, and Nate's been doing some pretty cool things for our Hack Attack. He's put together some sort of a wireless music adapter here. Tell me what you got.
All right, this wireless music player is based off of a Netgear WGT634U, which is a USB-based 108 megabit wireless G router.
Okay.
It has a USB port on the back, which was supposed to allow for USB disk connectivity.
Okay.
But due to unstable software, Netgear pulled the product, and now they're available for really cheap as refurbished.
How much did you pay for that one?
$40.
$40.
They're still available at that price.
Excellent. So what have you modified it to do?
Well, the first thing I did was flash the router with the OpenWRT Linux operating system, which allows me to get a bash prompt up and run any commands on the router that I like.
So you're just telnetted into the router right now with your laptop.
And I can send it any commands like connect to a wireless network, set up its own wireless network, or start playing audio. That took a little more setup than the rest. But the second thing is I added this serial LCD, which allows me to type in any commands that I want and have it display. So I could have it just display a blank blinking cursor, or I could have it say hello.
Oh wow, that's very cool.
Yeah, and it's all using a scripting interface so that any batch file could do it. So,
okay.
So
now, how did you add the audio capabilities to that then?
It was as easy as adding this USB sound adapter right here, along with the Advanced Linux Sound Architecture driver. It just works right out of the box immediately, and it's just some off-brand eBay, $15 gets you that adapter. The music is played by the Music Player Daemon, which is a Linux-based media server, which you can send commands to and play any sort of music you want.
So from your laptop, you can send it a bunch of music files and say, give me this playlist, play it, and display the playing track on the screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, can we open it up and see what you've done?
Sure. Right now, I lost all of the screws to the case, so right now it's just held on by this abnormally large rubber band.
Hackers don't need screws. We all know that.
And I open it up often enough. So inside, we have the standard Broadcom architecture that they've been selling. You have the Atheros Mini PCI radio, which apparently superior to the Broadcom chipsets, according to the people at Pound OpenWRT. Your standard Broadcom processor, It has serial ports down here, which one of which is the LCD.
Okay, so you've taken this LCD and hooked it up to the serial port in the router.
Correct. Actually, the second serial port, the first one is for debugging.
Okay.
And it's required to actually flash the router with any other operating system.
That's very cool, Nate. So how long did this take you from, envisioning the project to being able to actually do this and listen to music like we are now?
It took me, I think, around 4 or 5 days, something like that, from actually getting the router, flashing it, reconfiguring it, and getting everything to work right, including writing a certain radio script which automatically searches shoutcast and tunes to a station given a keyword that you put in.
Excellent. That's very cool. How much did all of the parts together cost?
Okay, the router itself, $40.
$40.
USB sound adapter was it was something like $12 or $15.
Okay.
The LCD itself was $15.
All right.
Which was actually a good find because they usually go for $30 to $40. And the Virgin boom tube speakers, which not a necessary part of the sound system, they cost, I think it was $25 from Woot.
Excellent. So you're looking without the speakers at about $75, $80 for the parts, and it might not be quite as polished as like the Sonos sound system, but it sounds like it has pretty much all of the functionality at 10% the price.
Yeah.
Well done, Nate.
Thanks.
Excellent. Now let's go back and see what else we've got from Gear Live.
Next up, we're going to take a look at a PSP accessory by Vaja in high score. What I have here is the Vaja i-Volution, PSP i-Volution case. You might want to come in and get a good look at this. So, it is a leather case by Vaja. Completely encases your PSP. It's a hard shell on the outside.
Looks like it's got some decent padding to really help protect the PSP.
It's nice. They sent it to us in Gear Live colors. That's why it's orange and gray.
Excellent. I like the color choice.
Here are 3 slots where you can store memory cards.
Oh, excellent.
Which is nice. And then on the inside, it's soft leather. You have access to your UMDs. You can change your discs. You have access to just about every port. The only thing that you can't see that I would like to see is the light, like the power light and the Wi-Fi light.
True, but it should be pretty easy to tell if your PSP is on.
Yeah, it's just sometimes like I didn't know it was out of power, so I'd be like, what's going on, and I have to like peer under there to see if the power light's on. It's really easy to put on and off. So actually, let me hand it over to you and take my PSP out of here.
Excellent.
Go ahead and put it in. Look how long it takes.
Well, I've never actually done this before, so it'll be interesting to see how long it takes the novice. Well, there we have it, about 10 seconds.
In, yes.
I like it. It seems to do a pretty good job of protecting. It does add a little bit of bulk, though. This definitely won't fit in a pocket.
No, it's not. I don't think it's meant to fit in the pocket. But I actually prefer it. Like you get used to, you can play the PSP with it on. Like I've used it on the airplane before and things like that. And I've had it for a few months now, so I'm at the point where like I don't take it off, so I just feel like that's the device. So I don't really have that complaint about it feeling too bulky because I'm used to it at this point. But $180 is the price.
Wow, so it compares almost with the price of the PSP itself.
Yeah, it's this is definitely not something you're gonna just go out. I mean, if you want to, you can use your PSP, the thing that it came with, this little sheath. But if you want something high quality, that also kind of shows off. I mean, it's a leather case, so
very high very high build quality, great workmanship, and like even the seams on the inside seem to be pretty well organized and thought out.
It's a great product. Again, $180 isn't it's not mass market, but it does serve its purpose. It does a great job at protecting the PSP, especially the screen, which is easily susceptible to damage. If you drop the PSP in that, you can feel good about not picking up a broken PSP.
Well, let's put yours in it and try this.
No, thanks. Actually, I would, and I wouldn't mind doing that, but it's okay. Let's do it.
Come on,
let's do it.
I trust this thing. It seems to work.
It's broke. No. Do you have power on your PSP?
Sadly, no. I'm out of batteries.
Me neither. That's the one thing about the PSP that I don't like. Is like if you don't use it for a week or so, you're out of power all of a sudden.
True.
Unlike the DS.
But no scuffs on it anywhere. It's good case.
So yeah, Vaja.com. If you want to customize it with your own colors, you go to Vaja-choice.com. It does up the price a little bit. Every feature, you can get your logo on there. Like you can do some pretty wicked things to these cases. But just the standard case with no modifications at all is $180. So if you're looking for something high quality or maybe a gift, a cool gift for a gamer,
True.
that you know,
This would be
definitely something
the
cool.
ultimate gift for that special
Definitely.
gamer in your life.
It's high quality leather. So there you have it. Let's move on to our lasers. We're going to go back and show you some cool things we were doing with the lasers earlier and probably continue to mess around with them. Again, these are Wicked lasers from the company Wicked Lasers, wickedlasers.com.
These things are awesome fun.
They rock. So let's go to that segment now. What we have here is a Wicked laser. If you visited Gear Live recently and you looked at the Google ads, you've probably noticed that these guys have a pretty heavy campaign going on with Google AdWords right now. I've been seeing them all over the place. So what they did was they sent us a couple of their lasers, and right above me you can check out their red, I believe it's the Exime laser, and then right here obviously is the green and more potent, I guess you'd call it, the green laser. So Jesse's going to give us a look at what we've done here with this laser, just to kind of show the kind of thing these things can do.
I'm Jesse holding the camera. So we put the mirror on the wall. You can't really see it because it's blinded by the laser. And then bounced it back and forth a few times. So now we made like a little security system in this hallway. It's pretty cool. This is the laser being shown around the light. We've increased the shutter speed so that you can see the little patterns. Do it really fast, Andrew. There we go.
So what we have here is fog being lit up by the laser beam very quickly. Can you see that?
Yeah, do that back and forth. It looks very cool. If you had some little mirrors and motors, you could do this. Well, I guess we're doing this with our hands, so it's not that high tech, but you can make a light show with these lasers, because they're strong enough for you to see it.
That's how normal laser shows work.
True. You ready? So we've got here a Wicked laser and a normal Walmart shopping bag.
Why do you have glasses on?
Because you should not look directly into the light that I'm about to project. It's bad for your eyes. Don't want to be blind. If you're up close. Yeah, so check this out. Now, if I go onto the black part of that M right there, and I start to hold it for a second, see that smoke that's coming out? See, I'm cutting a hole right through that M with just a laser pointer. That is why we call these Wicked lasers. Okay, I'm totally getting noxious from these fumes. Kids at home, if you're going to be burning a plastic bag with a laser, do it in a well-ventilated area.
Thanks again to the folks over at Wicked Lasers for sending these to us to mess around with and demo. What do you think, Sparky?
Lasers and laser pointers are always fun. I mean, like, can you imagine more fun than poking a laser through a cool crystal like this?
Yeah.
Really?
This isn't that fun at all, actually. I'll show you what's fun. This is fun. That's it for this week's edition of Gear Live's Bleeding Edge. I'm Andrew Edwards, and that was Sparky. Tune in next week for more tech news through the eyes of GearLive.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the new Nikon Coolpix P1 and P2 digital cameras, the world's first compact cameras with built-in Wi-Fi. Now you can take great pictures and easily transfer them directly to your computer or printer wirelessly. Learn more at nikondigital.com.
We are Locutus aboard.
Biggest laser pointers in that.
They did. Captain Picard was all like, I got a laser pointer and I'm pointing it at the camera.
If I was a Borg, I'd still point my laser into other Borg's eyes.
You're blind now, haha.
We are